Yeah, so my name's Mark Maupin, and I want to welcome everybody here tonight. We're really fortunate because Todd is somebody that's extremely active out doing wholesale deals around the clock. And he's here tonight to share an incredible tip with us that, like where you've got a seller and you've got a buyer or buyers in the same room, how you can pull that off without having a serious issue. So I'm looking forward to that. Um, and I know Todd's got an event following this event too that you guys will probably want to stick around for. So I just want to welcome everybody coming tonight, and we'll get started. Todd, it's all yours.
All right, thanks, Mark. Yeah, if everyone could, please, I don't have the controls, if you could mute yourself for now. All right, I appreciate everyone for coming today. Just to tell you a little bit about myself. There's a lot of people on the line that might even know me, or they do know me. My name's Todd CHUNN. Been wholesaling for just over 5 years. I've been in the real estate. I worked for somebody for 23 years, and I was making him millions of dollars, and I had no idea what there was a world like that of investors out there working with each other, and had no idea what wholesaling was, flipping. I didn't know how big it was. I just worked every day. I worked hard. I worked for someone. It was in the mortgage business. We had rental properties. We were buying houses at the auction. And the funny thing is, I heard a commercial on the radio about flipping houses. I'm coming to Detroit. Come to our free seminar event on Friday and Saturday, and I went there. Okay, and that's where they talked about wholesaling. I'm like, what the heck? I thought it was the greatest thing ever. And then I wholesaled my first deal. So the time I went to this meetup, it was like in October of 2016. And I quit my job January 1st, 2017 of 23 years. All right. I wholesaled one deal between that time. I actually daisy chained a deal where I seen a deal that looked like I knew Detroit really well, and I seen a deal that was a great deal. I called someone I met at a meetup and asked if they wanted, I added $2,500 on top of it, and I made $2,500. And January 1st, I quit my job. I started wholesaling, and right after I started getting into fix and flips and rentals. Okay, and it's been a struggle. So the first 3 years, I learned a lot. I lost a lot. And now I'm here to try to help others, to teach them what not to do, because I already did it. Okay, I already did the stuff you're not supposed to do, as in, making, going too fast, having the wrong partners, or even having a partner. That's good and bad. So I'll give you all that information if we ever sit down, or if you ever want to reach out to me, you're more than welcome to. Okay, I work with a lot of other wholesalers in town, out of town. We JV together, we squad up. If you don't know what that is, meaning someone might have a deal and they call me to help them sell the deal for them, and we split it 50-50 normally. And or another brand new wholesaler, I don't know if he's on the phone right now, but we just got a deal in a contract in Pontiac. All they did was called the guy. He said he might be interested in selling, and he sent me the lead. I called him and I worked it, and I went out and looked at the house. It took me about 30 days of follow-ups, maybe even more, to get the deal locked up at a good price. And once I got it locked up, I just sold it yesterday, actually, and we're making 11,000. We got it for 25 and sold it for 36. So we're making $11,000 on it, and we're splitting it. So he's happy. It's his first deal. So that's just a little bit about me. All right. But the one thing today I wanted to share, this is crucial. If you're a wholesaler, and I'll paint the picture, okay? You get a deal on the contract. A lot of times the seller thinks that you are the buyer, okay? Especially when I did a lot of my first deals. They think I'm the buyer. As you get more experience, you can start telling the seller, say, look, I'm a buyer, which I am. If I had to get money tomorrow, I know where to get it, or I might have it and I could buy any deal. But there's deals you don't want to buy. So I'd go to the seller and say, look, I'm a buyer. I buy a lot of houses and this is perfect for me. There's a small chance that I might bring one of my investor partners to come and I'll work with them and we'll do the deal together because I can only do so much by myself. Okay, you kind of paint a picture like that. All right, but let's say you got the deal on the contract, then I order title, and now I pitch it out to my buyers list. Okay, either on Facebook and I have a buyers list. I got almost a couple thousand people on my buyers list. And now you got 5 people, 5 buyers that want to come and see the property. Okay, everyone follow me? That could be, trust me, I've done that before. I met the 5 buyers there, and it could be a mess. Meaning you go, the seller's like, why are all these people here? Right? If you're not organized and you're not saying the right things in the beginning, it could get crazy. It could even blow the deal. Because you might have some buyers you don't really know and they want to talk to the seller. I had that before. And this is what I started. This is when I changed the way I did it. I had a buyer talking to the seller and saying, how much do you want for this house? And I almost grabbed him by the neck and took him outside and said, listen. So, and then I have a buyer asking, well, or just telling them everything that's wrong with the house. Okay. So here's how you fix this. All right. Here's what I do is I tell the buyers, I got 5 buyers coming out there. I call the buyers or I send them a text message and say, look, I'm showing this property tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Okay. I'm going to be there at 2:45. At 3:05, we are going in the house. If you're late, you're not going in the house. Okay. Because nothing's worse than walking through a house with 3 people and then 15 minutes later, someone else shows up. Now you got to walk them through the house. All right. This is when the seller's there. At 3:05, we're walking through the house. So if you're late, we're going to have to schedule another day. All right. So there's one thing. And then when they all get to the house, before you go up to the door or anything, I get there early. I go and talk to the seller and I let them know, look, I'm meeting with my project manager and property manager, and I might have a contractor or 2. I'm not sure if they're coming or not, but they're going to be walking through with me. All right. I let them know that this is at like 2:45. I let the seller know. So I'm gonna wait out here until they all get here. So we're not, so we're all walking together. Okay. So I kind of paint, I let the seller know that. So 3 o'clock, 3:05 comes. I get everyone around right before I'm at my car, at their car, and I say, listen, no talking to the seller. You can say, hi, how you doing? I'll do the talking. You look at the house. Any questions, you'll talk to me afterwards. Okay. We're here to look at the basement, all the bedrooms, the windows. I always tell the seller, look, we're going to look at the windows. That's the whole house. We're going to look at the furnace, the basement walls, things like that. Okay. So I make sure they don't talk to the seller. They don't ask them any questions. And then, any questions are directed to me afterwards. Okay. So, and I do the talking when I'm in there. I say, hi, hey, how you doing? I might introduce 1 or 2 people that I know. A lot of people know me, so I know they're not going to do anything anyway, but there's people that I don't know. So, but it's really crucial that you make sure you don't let anyone else come through that house after 3:05. You can make it 3:15 or 3:10, whatever time it is, because that's when it starts to get a little messy. Is the seller's like, why is this person? You just walk through the house, you know, and I promise you, you know, you're not going to have any problems, because what if one of the buyers says something out of line, that's not going to be your buyer. You know, you're not going to use them anymore. They got to do, because there's so many buyers out there, they got to follow your rules. I call it the rules of the showing. Okay. And it's very, very simple. And I do this virtually. I mean, there's a lot of times I don't even go to the showing, and I might have a buyer there and I let them run the showing for me pretty much. I tell them, you don't talk to them. You just go there and you look at the house. You're there for me. And if I hear otherwise, you know, they know they're not going to get one of my deals. I'm not going to sell them a deal. All right. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I know it's short. I know it's sweet, short and sweet, but I promise you, if you just show up there and you got 5, 6, you don't even know who's coming to your to the, you know, the showing, it will get messy. You know, you might have 7 or 8 people that say they're coming, and then just like anything else, you're going to get 4 or 5 that actually show up, that are serious, you know. And then I also tell them this is, look, you know, I always tell them this beforehand. I said, once you figure out what your offer is going to be, let me know. I'm taking the best offer, and I give them a time. So if I'm there at 12, I said, I'm taking the best offer 5 o'clock today. All right. You don't have to have it in writing. You could call me. You could text me. I love you, all of you guys. I wish I could sell the house, but only one person's getting the house. And, you know, so that way, if you got it listed at $50,000, it's a good house. They're not going to come in less. They're either going to come in at 50. If they really want it, they're going to come at higher. Okay. Now they're all going to call you and say, they're going to say, hey, Todd, man, I really want it. What number do I have to be at to get it? I said, listen, it wouldn't be fair for me to tell you that number, because I like you and I like Steven over here, and he wants the house. So I'm trying not to lose any friends here. I want to sell it to you. Okay. And just give me your best offer. If it works, great. If not, I'll sell you another house. Okay. And that's pretty much exactly how I do it. Okay. That's, you know, without it getting messy. All right. And then you put a deadline on it, 5 o'clock. If you tell someone verbally they got the deal, you don't want to mess up your reputation and change it. You don't want to, just because someone comes in $5,000 higher at 5:05 and you told someone at 5 they got the deal, just give it to the guy that you told them they got it. Okay. Even if it's a verbal commitment. And that's the only way to do business and to do it right. All right. So just now give me some questions. If I didn't explain it right, or anything else, you know, let me know. Mr. Carson iPhone. Carson Whaley, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on?
What's up? What's up? Now, I know you're an experienced wholesaler, from Flint to Detroit. What do you think? Is this something that you do already?
No, I don't. I think this is better because it kind of creates urgency too, and it orders a chaos. Because I just throw lock boxes on most of them, or I have to try to, you know, filter down who I think's my best buyer, so I'm not having to do the showing 5 times. If you do it one time in one shot, yeah, much better.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, sometimes, like you said, there's a lock. If the house is vacant, and the best way to do it is not to have the seller present, right? So
For sure.
there's times where I go to the seller and say, listen, if I don't put lock boxes on the houses because they're easy to break. And I had one time I had a lockbox on the house. Someone broke in and stole the furnace. Okay.
Yeah.
I felt horrible. So now I just try to get a key. I'd rather hide the key, okay, and or hide the lockbox, okay.
Sure.
But yeah, I might go by there and put a key in there, and then when they're done, I'll go grab the key. It just depends on the house. But yeah, that's sometimes there is sellers that want to be there. They're afraid someone's gonna steal something, or they just want to be there,
Yeah. I mean, this is perfect for even when it's like it's occupied with the seller or tenant or whatever. So, because those
Yep,
are obviously the ones that are harder to get in and actually show.
absolutely. Yep.
I
So
like it.
if the seller and if the tenant's there, you definitely want to be on time, you know. I do have a couple of documents, after this, we're going to have another Zoom. There's a business opportunity that a good friend of mine presented to me that really, I mean, I don't want to tell you about it because he's the expert and it has to do with essential needs. But if you go on this next Zoom, I put the Zoom in the chat. And the reason why, well, there's a couple of documents I could give anyone that's interested. I have a purchase agreement that I could share with you. It's brand new. Carson, you never seen this one. I got it from a guy that's crushing it out of Texas. They're national company. I got an assignment agreement, and I got something. If you are locking up a deal that is rented, there's a tenant document and a landlord document that is really important, and this will help you sell your deals, because a lot of deals that I come across in Detroit and Flint, they don't have a payment history. They either pay cash. So this is a really good document that you have you go over it with the tenant. You have them answer the questions. You can fill it out with them or over the phone. And definitely don't lie, because you're going to be selling this to an investor. You want to be what you want to do. You want it to say what the tenant said. And then you do the same thing with the landlord or the seller. And it gives you more ammo. So when you send the deal to you got a buyer and say, listen, this is what they're paying. This is how they're paying. It has a bunch of questions on there that are legit that a buyer would want to know, instead of just buying a house. They don't even know if the tenant's good or bad, So that is a few docs there that I would be more than happy to share. Let's see. Any other questions, concerns? And one thing I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start doing these. They're only going to take 30 minutes or less, where I'm just going to pick out something that, oh man, this is important, and that I think is important. Maybe it'll help someone, maybe it doesn't, but it's just my way of doing things. Doesn't mean it's right, doesn't mean it's wrong. And of course, if anyone else has other ways of doing things, I'm always learning every day. So
I got a question.
yes,
Stephen
sir.
Morrow here.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Todd. So I got a question. One of the things that I've run into quite a few times is that a wholesaler says, hey, I got this deal under contract. They actually do have it under contract, but they haven't ran title before they start marketing it to people. So, I've ran into instances where, they get it. Oh, it's a FOIA. Oh, something's wrong with title where we won't be able to close this deal. All of these things or whatever. And like, what process do you follow that you think maybe other wholesalers could follow to make deals, cleaner for investors like that are coming out and buying? Because obviously me and you have done a lot of deals. It's no problem for me to close quick, but at the same time, if I'm trying to buy other deals at the same time and yours is going to take 2 to 3 months because we don't know what the title issues are, well, right. Now I don't have as much confidence in you as a wholesaler.
Yeah, so that happens to the best of us. That happens to me too. I had a beautiful rental. I just closed it yesterday, actually, got paid today. and I was selling it to a buyer in California, one of my good buyers. And I kid you not, it probably took us 3 months to fix this title. You know, you just got to be, I guess that might be a question you would ask Stephen before you look at it. Has title been ran? Because normally when I get a deal under contract, I order title right away, but I pitch the deal out. I don't wait till title gets back. You could do that, but time is, you know, I just don't do it that way. So that might be a question, and that might be something I might start telling people that are interested in the deal. Say, look, I ordered title. I don't have it back yet. I should have it back in 2 or 3 days. And you know, and then you give it and you ask them, is it occupied? How long do they need to move? You know, because I got one where we just got under contract. I got it sold already. Now she's looking, this is horrible. She's looking for a house to buy. So that's not fun. So I set her up with one of my agents that I work with, where she's a really good buyer's agent. And I already connected those two together. She's getting them pre-approved, and she's going to go find them a house. So, you know, that's going to be a 30 to 60. No, that's probably going to be 60 days before that deal is closed. So yeah, that's just something that I guess in the beginning, you just got to ask them. And if the title's not been done, just, you know, then you got to follow up in 2 or 3 days just to make sure, you know, that it, you know, just to make sure, you know.
Todd, we got like a minute or so to go here. So can you like tell people how to get to the next Zoom meeting? Because it's that on this channel.
Absolutely. I'll ask Mike Kennedy if I don't know how he wants to do it with the link. Let me get the link real fast. And I'm going to put my information right now in the chat. And you can always reach out to Mark and get my information. Anyone has any questions, needs any help on anything, 497-9195.
I put the Zoom link in for the next meeting in the chat too.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, and if you've got it to put in, that's good.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in right now. I'm gonna put so if everyone that's on here, if you go to the next chat or the next Zoom meeting.
Is it my link?
What's that, Mike?
Is it my link or is it a different link?
Your link, Mike.
Okay, here it is. I'll put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat for me. Awesome.
Yep.
If you want my purchase agreement, assignment agreement, and the landlord and tenant documents for wholesalers, it's really, I mean, I've been building this purchase agreement for 5 years. I think it's really a good purchase agreement. So, and here, I don't put earnest money down, deposits down. It's not even in my purchase agreement. And hopefully you're not doing that either. So, yeah, so there's the Zoom link. Mark, just leave this open for a minute so everyone could click on it. And we'll go over there into there, and I'll introduce Michael Kennedy, and we could go to the next Zoom.
Yeah, awesome. Hey, thank you, Todd, and looking forward to going over some residual income with you here in just a minute.
Awesome. Thanks, Tracy.